Fellow citizens, residents, the lights, the carols, and the Christmas trees herald the arrival of the Christmas season. And I extend to you warmest wishes for a safe and peaceful holiday. It is my hope that the blessings of Christmas will be yours throughout the coming year. And I do so because the blessings of Christmas, when seen and valued as they should be, have the power to transform our lives for the better forever. These special blessings, so unique to this season, are invincible. They can be neither touched nor measured, bought nor sold. They reside instead in the human heart. They are as private and as unseen as the Christ child coming into the world with no room, no space really, waiting to welcome him. But the blessings of Christmas are also as liberating as the Christ child would later become, causing hearts all over the world, thousands of years later, to remember and celebrate his birth in Bethlehem each year this time at Christmas. The years between Bethlehem and today are many, and life has changed a great deal since then. Modern life has become so hectic, making us very practical, very focused, very much stressed. At this time of year, however, something special begins to stir within. We hear the Christmas carols and begin to think about Christmases long gone and Christmases yet to come. And feelings that we all know well are once again awakened. We find ourselves deeply valuing those relationships that we are fortunate enough to have, and sometimes even being saddened by those broken bonds that we have failed to mend. In these very human ways, then, Christmas brings out the best in us, causing us, more than any other time of the year, to see with our own hearts. And this heightening of our humanity is the most precious Christmas blessing of all. My Christmas wish, then, is that we as Kittitians and Nevisians will find a way to keep at least a hint of this special season in our lives all year through. This would, of course, uplift and strengthen us more than we would ever know. What happens at Christmas is very good for us as individuals, and even better for us as a country. We find ourselves thinking about those who have been kind to us during the year or over the years, those without whom we would not have gotten that job or that scholarship. We find ourselves thinking about those who visited us when we were ill, or who stood by us when everyone else seemed to be walking away. Relatives who almost never have time for each other, they do gather together on this day. Even in the middle of the death and destruction of World War I, German and British soldiers, the bitterest of enemies, for this special day in 1914, Christmas Day, on the Flanders battlefield, they spontaneously stopped fighting, stopped the killing, and rested all weapons down. Christmas does change the human heart. It approaches, and when we find ourselves thinking about persons who may never have had any impact on our lives whatsoever, but whom we feel would be uplifted by a word of cheer. And so we reach out, both to those who have helped us and those who have not. We call, we send a card, we visit. We are kinder and much more human than any other time of the year. This is known the world over as the spirit of Christmas. And this, my fellow Kittitians and Divisions, is what I would like us to strive, even in some small way, to keep alive in this, our precious nation, all year through. The days after Christmas have always been periods of great frivolity in St. Kitts and Nevis, for as long as we can remember. This is good. And in the days ahead, I hope that you will have many good moments as you run into persons you have not seen for years, as you hear the string bands that remind us of our own childhoods, as you see much that is uniquely and wonderfully Kittitian and Division. And even as we celebrate, however, let us remember to capture the true magic and meaning of Christmas, so that we might use it to guide us all year through. And whenever in doubt as to how to proceed, all we need to do is look to Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. There are those of us, fellow nationals, who are very happy this Christmas. Unfortunately, however, there are also those of us whose hearts are heavy on this Christmas morn. Bethlehem reminds us not to allow ourselves to become either too giddy if life today is good, or too despondent if life today is not. Because Christmas, after all, celebrates the birth of someone who was born in a lowly stable, but whose life's message would later utterly transform, uplift, and energize the entire world. Bethlehem also shows us humble shepherds and widely traveled wise men coming together as one to praise the Christ child. And this reminds us in St. Kitts and Nevis each Christmas that whatever our respective strengths and weaknesses, whatever our respective privileges and handicaps, we are all, in the eyes of our Creator, shepherd and wise men alike, one and the very same. It reminds us that whatever our rank or station, each of us has a role to play, and that we must always be ready to step forward together, to work together, each of us doing our part to protect, to advance, and uplift this beloved land that we call our home. There is indeed much to learn from Bethlehem. Ever since we were children, we have known that the wise men gave frankincense, gold, and myrrh to the Christ child. And we knew even then that gold was the most precious of metals. What we may not have known as children, however, was that frankincense, known as the heavenly fragrance, was native to northeastern Africa and was even more valuable than gold, its exquisite fragrance being used in meditation and prayer. We also may not have known that myrrh, also with its extraordinarily pleasing scent, and also native to northeastern Africa, was used for healing and for calming and the soothing of wounds, and like frankincense, was also more valuable than gold. Fellow Kittitians and Nevisians, the wise men did not simply take to Bethlehem whatever was at hand, therefore. They did not take whatever was convenient or easy to find, just as they ensured that they brought to the manger the most exquisite gifts of the ancient world, and just as the shepherds possessed such adoration that they are remembered throughout the world to this day, 2,000 years later, so too must we as Kittitians and Nevisians aim at Christmas and always to be our nation's frankincense, our nation's gold, our nation's myrrh, precious, highly regarded, honoring each other and being worthy of honor. And in keeping with the strong, pure emotions of the shepherds as they encountered the Christ child, so too must we aim, each and every one of us, to be precious gifts to our beloved nation and to be valued and cherished beings in each other's eyes. Like frankincense, fellow citizens, let us at Christmas time and always strive to be regular parts of meditation and prayer. Like myrrh, let us strive to be a soothing presence within our families, our communities, and our dear land. Let us, like myrrh, strive to be a healer of wounds, though deep the wounds may be. Like gold, with its colors from the sun, let us strive to be persons of faith and optimism for each other and for our blessed land, St. Kitts and Nevis. Most of all, during this Christmas season and in the months and years ahead, as we celebrate, as we interact, as we manage our families, and as we protect our beloved nation, let us always be guided by certain bedrock principles. Like the wise men and the shepherds of Bethlehem, let us be forever guided by a bright, shining star. This Christmas season and always, let that star be the ideals that remind us of who and what we are. Today and always, let that star be our sense of where we came from as a people and where we are going. On Christmas Day and beyond, let that star be the sparks of compassion and decency that all nations need in order to thrive. On this special day, let that star be the humility and the appreciation that we owe to the universe for the endless blessings that we as a people have already received. Let that star, fellow Kittitians and Nevisians, be the guidance and protection of a merciful God. I wish you, fellow citizens, God's richest blessings at Christmas. And I wish these blessings on all of you, all that you hold dear. Thank you.